Welcome to the roots of our tree. This incredible forest of potential. Take a deep breath. Let it go. I'm going to take you on a journey of my life. It moves me just even thinking about it right now. That this process of the LifeLine Technique, these 16 steps, have been a step that I've taken in my own life to help myself, to smile, to feel confident, to transform pain into a power that is so powerful. See, there's 16 steps of the LifeLine Technique. Each of them come from different aspects of protocols and systems that have been around for thousands of years, millions of years actually, millions of years, indigenous cultures. So I want to break down each of the steps and some of the influential people and some of the influential systems that are a part of this one system that we call LifeLine. So the first step, it's called the connection. It's about being present to the moment. When we're present in the moment, that's when we're in our power. And there are exercises that we can do to be in our power. Now, the connection that you're going to learn comes from the root of Qigong. And Qigong is a Chinese exercise that through movement, breath, activating and touching certain areas of the body posture, the life force, the Qi, what we call emotion here in the LifeLine, begins to flow. So Qigong, acupuncture, the chakra system, shamanism are all integrated in this incredible weave of the connection. Shamanism is a bridge between the spiritual and the physical world. And the connection enables us to raise the consciousness of our body that's naturally designed to heal, regenerate, and be whole, our mind that is infinite in potential, the dreams, the imagination, the vision quest, the essence of our spirit, the spiritual journey, that we are beings of light, and our spirit is a light that is pure love. Our connection to Mother Earth, in the seasons, in the cycles, the celestial stars, the connection to the universal source that is one with all that is. There's so much that goes along with this. Second step of the LifeLine integrates quantum physics, neuro-linguistic programming, the great Louise Hay and her work of self-love and affirmations, the Heart Math Institute that acknowledges that the power of our heart is our greatest power, and the field of the heart is exponentially bigger than the energetic field of our brain. Even though people attempt to lead with intellect, it's about leading with passion. So in step number 2, we consciously observe. That's quantum physics. What we observe, we influence. It's called the observer effect because there's a field of energy that connects all of creation. When you start to observe anything, anyone, in any way, right now, you and I observing, we're no longer the observer, we're the participant in this energetic field. That's the quantum physics of it. Neurolinguistic programming is aligned by using a certain alignment of words to activate and pace and then lead the present, past, and future reactive part of our mind into its fullest potential of who you are. Who you are. Your mind is your greatest power. And through certain aspects of how step 2 is designed, you're learning this manifestation tool, which comes from the work of John Grinder, Richard Bandler, Milton Erickson, Virginia Satir, all these incredible people that are of the essence of incredible hypnotherapists and people that have helped people to create change on a subconscious level. Takes it to a whole other level. Louise Hay, in the power of an affirmation, I am love, I love you, is so powerful. Is so powerful. That recognizing that when we can go into our heart and we can go, no, I don't choose that. And I'll choose from my heart where I'm going. That the Heart Math Institute has done so much research on when we're in our heart space, called coherence, and when we're not. And the impact on our biology, on our behavior, and the ripple effect that it has. That's step 2. Step 3, create the portal. Step 3 is amazing. Using aspects of affirmations even further, going into the power of observing your body to influence your body in its natural ability to heal, regenerate, and be whole. How? By how you look at it. Most people, when they're in pain, just want the pain to go away, but you're going to learn a way to observe your body with love that's simple, practical, and that naturally evokes a change and a transformation in your body. Sounds too simple? It is too simple. It's amazing. It's beautiful. We're going to go into a core limiting belief portal in step 3. And it is the essence of epigenetics and application. The new science is like, oh, you're not predetermined by your genes, by your genetic makeup? Well, show me how to do that. How can I change my relationship with my environment? When from a subconscious point of view, I'm broadcasting my environment. And I'm attracting. In the core limiting belief portal, you're activating Bruce Lipton's incredible research as a cellular biologist on transforming our ideas about DNA being the brain of our cell and the predicting factor of what's going to happen to us in our health, in our life, and how to evoke that epigenetic change so that your perception and your reception changes. And therefore, your genetics potential, your fullest potential, is awoken. We're going to go into timeline theory. Timeline therapy is being able to, with muscle reflex testing, get to the core of where a subconscious pattern comes from. And through my own work in neuroemotional technique, Scott Walker's incredible work called NET, get to the root of an original occurrence and shift it and raise its consciousness. There's application of neurolinguistic programming here in step 3 as well. Step 4 is the Triad, which is at its essence a chiropractic philosophy. It's a chiropractic philosophy that states that we have at the base structural, biochemical, emotional, but in the core a spiritual essence of who we are. And when, from a chiropractic point of view, the impingements on the nervous system, the resistance on the nervous system is released through chiropractic adjustment, that the innate begins to flow. what the innate is the body's, it's another way of saying, it's a fancy way of saying the body's natural ability to heal. It's a life force of the universe, above, down, inside, out, is tied in with the triad, step 4. Step 5 is the power center. What is in the power? What is in the power of your mind? What's in the power of your heart? What's in the power of your will? Your ability to think, feel, and choose. This is the essence of the science of what's called psychoneuroimmunology. Your psychological state influences your nervous system, your immune system, your hormones in every way. And we're going to activate from a subconscious perspective the psychoneuroimmunological ability to influence and create balance in the triad, so that that innate life force from above, down, inside, out can flow on its own. And therefore you be what you are designed and destined to be. Infinite love and gratitude. Now, step 6 is fascinating. It's called the spirit protection reflex. It's pure lifeline. It's when I woke up to the lifeline, step 6 was one of the light bulbs that went, where I thought, you know, why do I have to do the adjustment? Why do I have to stick the needle in the point? Why do I have to give the nutrition? What is it? Well, why is it that as much as I balance the chakra and do different things, do patterns continue on? The chiropractic adjustment is to make the pain go away. To allow the chi to flow, I stick the needle in. Take the homeopathic remedy. All these different things. But the spirit protection reflex, step number 6, acknowledges a new framework and understanding of life itself. That the subconscious mind is designed to give us a gift of protection in the present moment when we cannot consciously process experiences with love. And either can the environment that we're in. And as a result of not being able to process this experience, this information, a gap is put into place. A momentary gap where we internalize, we deny, we disconnect, we lose, we break in our mind, in our heart, in our will. And that reactive pattern based upon whatever environment that was becomes a repeat. Now, the uniqueness of the lifeline here is this spirit protection reflex shifts into a spirit protection, a spirit growth opportunity, a gift of awakening. That the symptoms and stressors and disease that are going on in your body, in your life, in our world, are not there to victimize us or cause suffering. No, that's a misunderstanding. They're not there because there's something wrong or bad or you're missing or you need to be fixed. No, that there's something emerging from within you. It's lifeline. Step number 6. Step number 7, 5 elements. Now, the 5 elements date back from the barefoot doctors of Chinese medicine. And the barefoot doctors of Chinese medicine wrote in this Yellow Emperor's book of internal medicine called the Huangdi Neijing, talked about these elements in nature and how these elements of nature correspond with our own nature. And how nature flows is how we flow. It's an essence of Taoism. And that there's a natural way in which it does. A creative, controlling, connecting way. So the 5 elements bridges Chinese medicine, acupuncture, but it also goes into a whole other level of indigenous appreciation and value for nature. The Aboriginals, Native Americans, who took it to a whole other level than Chinese medicine, where rather than the 5 elements, the element of air, which I'll teach in Advanced LifeLine, which is so much fun. But in these 16 steps, we're going to stick with the fire, earth, metal, water, wood. And how it dances is how we dance. It's so gorgeous. I mean, it is a gorgeous song. Step number 8 goes into the element of nature and recognizes that there are rhythms in our body that flow from our fingertips to our face, from our chest down to our hands, from our head down to our feet, from our feet up to our chest. That this is the chi, the life force, the emotion that flows through us. And it's amazing when I studied in Sri Lanka and China, and I saw on papyrus paper from thousands of years ago drawings of humans or elephants with acupuncture meridians and the ancient form of needles that used fish bones. It's amazing. Where did this information come from? It's amazing. It's absolutely brilliant. Step number 9 builds upon Chinese medicine, 5-element theory, nature, but then it takes it to a whole other level of family constellation work, so that we can appreciate the patterns that go on between siblings and partners, between parents and grandparents, grandchildren, and how these patterns are predictable and how they flow, not only in family, but how we can see that in our body and also going on in weather patterns in nature. Step number 10 is expression channel. And it's the expression channel that becomes this spiritual biofeedback system. It helps us to appreciate Dr. Masaru Emoto's work on the consciousness of water, that the emotions that we think, the emotions that we feel, the words that we say, the music that we listen to affect the water crystallization in our body. And when I learned of Dr. Emoto's work, I thought that's amazing how the thoughts, intentions, prayers, feelings impact water. But my other thought was, what about the subconscious emotions? What about the subconscious reactive behaviors? What about the subconscious inability to feel or let go of feelings? So in step number 10 and 11, we're bringing in the consciousness of water. We're working with really what I would call a reverse hypnosis. It's a reverse hypnosis where we've been in a trance and therefore we reactively behave. Our body's expressing emotions that at one point we couldn't express and either could anyone else and move through. We're unable to feel or let go of feelings reactively. And through the lifeline, it's like raise the consciousness, trance, spell, shifted. And now, based upon your heart's intention, heart math, you raise that vibration and the water crystals of your being go into transformation. It's so cool. It's so cool. The reaction becomes action. Step 12, the holding pattern. Why we hold on. It's a deeper level of epigenetic work, of biology of belief. Bruce Lipton, Ayurvedic medicine, the chakras, Eastern Indian appreciation for this superconscious field. There's an appreciation of cellular memory. in appreciating that our cells have memory. And it reflects in our ability or inability to adapt and be resilient, to heal and be whole. When that memory is old memory, a degenerative pattern is put into motion. And there's a whole essence of maladaptive stress reaction. It's a whole deeper understanding of what is called the fright, fight, or flight, or in fancy terms, I'm going to be fancy, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis of fright, fight, or flight. Simply put, the stress model. And we shift the stress model in step number 12. We shift it. We shift it from blaming it on stress to realizing that stress is not only natural but necessary, and that when we go into the stress with intention, the post-traumatic stress turns into post-traumatic growth. That's cool. The spirit holding pattern, wow. We'll go into the science of sleep. We'll go into the science of rapid eye movement. When we process in our dreams, when we astral travel, and we integrate short-term memory into long-term memory. This builds upon Francine Shapiro's incredible epic work of EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprocessing, so that we can create with specificity synthetic REM patterns that allow us to process information on the deepest level, to integrate so that we are fully conscious in the present moment, rather than having attractor fields that perpetuate trauma and drama. That we have a attractor field of joy and gratitude, abundance, happiness. Step number 13 goes into the assemblage point. I first heard of the assemblage point through Carlos Castaneda and his work of shamanism and the essence of that bridge between the physical and spiritual world. And that talked about the point of connection through shamanistic journeys. The assemblage point was this point of connection that allowed for a soulful healing to occur. That was done with hallucinogenic drugs. It's not done in that way in the LifeLine. No, it's very simple and beautiful and safe and wonderful. Where I then heard about it was in Tai Chi Chuan, from my incredible instructor, Master Kimball Paul, the late Master Kimball Paul, who talked about the point of connection, that there's always one point of connection. So when you're on your left foot, that's the point of connection. When my wrist is touching the wrist, that's the point of connection. The eyes on the eyes, that's the point of connection. There's always one point of connection, that's the assemblage point. In the physical realm, bridging to the spiritual realm. We're going to learn how to bridge that in a very beautiful way so that we can raise consciousness of core limiting beliefs to core infinite potential, of living a life of intention. It's amazing. Step number 14 is we walk and we breathe. And the purpose of walking and breathing, which, what a blessing to be able to walk and breathe. What a blessing. But that act of walking and breathing goes into a very deep science that's called neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity is that your brain is not hardwired where it can't change. It can. You can change your brain. So at step number 14, where we're walking and breathing, we do it at a specific part of the lifeline, so that after we've raised the consciousness, now we want to activate the brain to integrate at the highest level, so that the body is on board with the new driver in your mind, fullest consciousness of who you are. So awesome. Step number 15, it's called the ILR. We call it the love laser. I came about this because of one of my greatest mentors, Dr. Viktor Frankl. He's the developer of total body modification, which is just a phenomenal kinesiology-based system that Dr. Kevin Millay is now leading, and he's amazing, and it's a great program for practitioners. I think you have to be a doctor to take TBM, but it's a beautiful system. But Dr. Frank used to use this posture called high thymus, where he would touch the body with the pinky and check a muscle. And if it locked out, it meant that there was more to do. But TBM's working primarily from a physical point of view to turn on the functional physiology of the body, to influence blood sugar, to enhance different organs and glands of the system. Really cool. But the primary essence of the lifeline isn't the body. The body's a reflection of the mind. So we don't touch the body. The ILR is just tapping into the field to see if there's resistance in the field, ultimately between the conscious and subconscious mind. You'll learn about the ILR is from an alternate universe of application. It's actually like a little bit mind-bending to put into perspective. It's absolutely fascinating. It's almost like you're going to learn a Star Trek way of communicating with your mind-body-spirit continuum. It's really neat. But Viktor Frankl was the impetus for me in recognizing and seeing. That's been one of my gifts throughout my life. I can talk to people and listen to them, and immediately I have a deeper understanding on some level. It's just always been like my gift has been like I've been able to translate things, or yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll wait for the chorus where I was about to go. Infinite love and gratitude. And the last step, number 16, is the essential acts of self-love. You're going to learn about love. There's a system to love yourself. There's a system to love yourself. All the greats of our time taught about love in one way or another. It's a journey of love. You're going to learn how to turn drinking water and eating food and moving your body and resting and being who you are into an act of love. So profound. Just like you. So we're going to go on this amazing journey. I'm so blessed. I'm so excited for it. I wanted to just give you an appreciation for what it is. You can tell I'm giddy about it. I flip and love it. Because what's amazing, as much as there's all these different systems in here, it's simple. I've created a simple process for anyone to learn. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be someone who studied all these things. You can just be fresh right now and just enjoy the ride that you're about to embark upon, because it's going to be a ride that allows you to grow into the fullest essence of yourself, that the roots of this tree are yours to grow in love and gratitude.